All right, so time change. So now I have to get out here even earlier, which stinks. Makes it hard to do anything. Hunting is hard enough alone. Without time change, it's like now you either get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get out here, or you head out at 3 o'clock, right? So, second hunt, the BCX. I think I'm gonna put the decoy out again, but I'm gonna listen to a comment I got on one of my videos, and I'm gonna take the horns off, antlers, take those off this time and see what happens. You know, it's just fun to try different stuff anyways, so I wondered if, that might be a problem, so I don't hunt over decoys ever, so, but we're headed to the blind. Wind's not great, but some rain's coming in, and, we're definitely pre-rut here where they're starting to chase, so hopefully something comes along. We'll see. So I'm on my way out here, and there's an apple tree, and I got 2 does hanging out right in the way again. So looks like they're starting to kind of wander away. See if I can move up a little bit. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna spook them. There's not much I can do about that, but hopefully not spook them too bad. All right, everyone. So this is the first day of time change. I put that doe decoy out, and instead of rattling and grunting, I did doe bleats today. And I had a little doe come in, kept looking behind her. I was gonna film her because it was just cool. She came right up to the decoy, and then I looked, and not a huge buck, but for me to get out of the woods before the gun hunters come, honestly, is nice. So I went ahead and took the shot. It looked like a fork, but I think it's a 6. So that's exciting. Again, for around here, all I had seen is a spike all year. So I will be happy with this deer. Obviously everyone's got their own trophies, and if I can find this one, that would be great. So shot it with the Hyper, or the BCX Hyper Raptor, and with the Hyper Flight arrows. So see here, lighted knock worked great, which is good because it went way back in there, but then I got blood right here. So gonna start tracking, see if we can find it here. It is raining, which is never good when you're following a blood trail. So here we go. Wish me good luck, and this may be the end of the season for me because I shot a doe just a week ago. So I'm okay with that, though. I am. You got to be happy with what you have a chance at, and around here I was happy with this. I know a lot of people are like, oh, let him go, let him grow. It's not an option where I live. You let this buck go, he's gonna walk to the neighbors, they're gonna shoot it. That's just how it is. So Very, very excited for me and my family, and we will see how this goes. All right, so I've been following him, and he came, I don't know if you can see my blind, it's over in there, but he kind of did a U shape, hit this tree pretty good, and he's actually right over here, so I'll show you guys in just a sec. So here he is, and I know he's not a monster, right, but he's a little 6, and for around here, I'm pretty happy with that. I haven't seen anything other than a spike all year long, so over a month of hunting, and yeah, found him pretty quick. So hit him right here with the Rage, and 30-yard shot with the Hyper Raptor, no problem. Really excited, guys. BCX, not the Hyper Raptor, the BCX, I guess. Second time out hunting, got it done. So we're gonna go take care of him now. All right, everyone, so I am back home. Tired, yeah, pretty tired. So it's always quite the experience. We always make it a big deal around here if you get a deer. You know, you're providing food for the family, and that's how we look at it. So, you know, no matter who it is, you know, relative, friend, if you get a deer around here, it's a big deal. And we go and we show family members. You know, I stopped by some relatives and showed it to them, and everyone gets all excited. It's just a fun time when you get a deer, right? So, as you saw, he's not huge antlers, right? He's a 6 point, probably getting close to 2 years old though. So I actually dropped him off at a processor. As much as I want to process him myself, I don't have that ability right now. I don't have a place to do it. The weather's still pretty warm. So that's just something I'm not dealing with now. Hopefully down the road, yes, but not an option for me right now, right? So we dropped him off at the processor, and I actually talked to the processor for a little bit, and he had some bucks in there, and we compared them, and the body on mine was almost the same exact size as some of these 8 points he had in there, and they were very nice 8 points, right? So I'm happy with it. I am. You can't eat the antlers. I know people say that. As fun as it is to get big antlers, you know, this was kind of just a cool how it all went about, right? I put my little decoy out there again, and I followed one of you guys' advice, and I took the antlers off of it, and I went with doe bleats tonight, you know, quite a few. About every 15 minutes I'd do it, and wasn't seeing a lot of action. I spooked some going in, of course, but wasn't seeing a lot. And then all of a sudden I hear crunch, 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 and I look, and there was a doe. And I was trying to grab my phone to film it, but it kept looking, so I didn't get a chance to set up the phone. But it came, and it went right by that decoy behind it by about 8 yards, right? So it's behind the decoy about 8 yards, but then it keeps looking over its shoulder, and I looked, and I see this buck run in after her, and then he sees the decoy, and he slows down, and he's kind of checking it out, and he followed her behind the decoy, and kind of looked at the decoy, and then he walked in a little closer, and there's this clump of brush there behind the decoy, which you might remember seeing. And he came up close, looked at it, and was like, that's not a real deer. So then he turned around and started walking back out, and that's when I got a good look at him. I thought, you know, I would be happy with this deer. The whole situation, everything was super cool. I called it in, you know, the decoy's working. Just really, really cool to have that all work out. So then once he stepped out from behind that brush, I knew it was about 30 yards, and I let it rip, and the BCX didn't disappoint, right? No problem. Plenty of speed. He had no time to even react at 30 yards, guys. The lighted knock worked great. Found my arrow shortly afterwards because of the lighted knock. If I didn't have the lighted knock, it would have been hard. So that's why I did decide to use those Hyperflight arrows, right? Now the arrow did lose a fletching. No idea where. Never found it. So I didn't find it in the deer. I didn't find it on the ground. And I double lunged it. I'm going to be honest, I've never lost a fletching before from doing that, but thankfully I have a lot of these bolts. So, but that's that, right? That's the story of how I got this little 6 point with the new BCX. And yeah, that scope's growing on me more and more every time I use it. So
I am actually tagged out for now. I could decide to get a doe tag down the road, but I'd like to try to get my handicapped brother out, try to get him a deer, and um, yeah, donate that meat to whoever needs it, you know. So my season might be done, but I will be testing bows and shooting stuff, and you know, obviously my testing season is not done, so I can small game hunt, do that kind of stuff too. So thanks for checking us out, guys. A successful evening in the rain, but hey, they're starting to move, guys. I actually, when I went to drop it off, I saw a monster by the side of the road. So if you've been thinking about getting out, get out there here in Michigan. It's heating up. So we'll catch you in the next one, guys.